Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to St. Petersburg. Many of you were here for the opening press conference before, so the technical elements of this media activity remain the same. We have remote interpretation, so when you ask your question and give your answer, just allow for a short delay so our colleagues can make the translation cleanly. If you have a question, please raise your hand, introduce yourself, who you work for, and then you can pose your query. Our guests today are from New Zealand. It's the New Zealand coach Anthony Hudson and Captain Chris Wood. So first question for Anthony. Describe your expectations after seeing that stadium for tomorrow.
Yeah, firstly, it's unbelievable stadium. Pitch looks well. And, it was nice to get out there today and have a look round. And I think I can speak for everyone in the group. We're really looking forward to the game.
And Chris, you've had a wonderful season with your club and you've now spent a lot of time with your international teammates. There must be a lot of excitement in the group ahead of tomorrow's match.
Yeah, definitely there is. This group's a young, exciting group, and that's what we're looking to bring. We're looking forward to a good campaign, and everybody will be ready for it.
Okay, we can take your questions. This gentleman here with the glasses.
Здравствуйте, Роман Монспортс.ру. Расскажите, пожалуйста, что случилось с тренировкой на Петровском? В чем там была проблема?
What happened with the training session at Petrovsky? What was the problem there?
For us, there was no problem. We've logistically, due to the stadium here and the developments, we weren't able to get an actual session on the training on the stadium today. So that was one part of it. But also, I think the most important part for us was we've had a lot of travel since we've in our build-up. Half the squad have flown from New Zealand. In between, we've had many different flights. We've had a tough, purposefully, a tough build-up. And so now, the last few days, coming into this game, we're happy with the walkthrough. We're happy to be coming into this game as fresh as possible. So that's no problem for us.
Gentleman right at the back in the white jacket.
Hi guys, John Strong with Fox Sports in the United States. I'm curious for both of you, having gone through the time and the expense to come over early to have a couple of the build-up matches, what do you both feel were the best things you got out of that opportunity?
Well, playing against top opposition that we have, it's put us in good stead for these games. These are top quality oppositions we're going to come up against over this tournament. We've played a team that was 28th in the world in Northern Ireland, had a great European competition last year. Took them all the way in the game and it was very close. So we're putting ourselves in good stead, ready for these games.
Michael Burgess, New Zealand Herald. Question for Anthony and Chris. Are you ready for this massive challenge tomorrow, and what do you think is possible?
Well, the first response is easy. We are ready, 100%. We're ready. We've had a good build-up. The team's in a good place. Everyone's very positive. And I forget your second part. What was the second part? What's possible? Listen, the targets for us haven't changed. We believe we're a very good team. We have a different preparation to all the other teams here. We obviously play in a different confederation. We have a different build-up to get to this point now. We play against different types of opposition. Our team is based all over the world. We have different logistical situations to other teams. So we come into this tournament and we don't have the same build-up as all the other teams in this tournament. However, we have a very, very good team with a huge amount of belief. We've got some good players in our team. And the objective for us was to come here and do something significant and do something no other New Zealand team has ever done before, and that hasn't changed for us. And we feel very optimistic coming into this tournament.
Okay, the gentleman in the spectacles and then the man 2 rows in front.
Ябилов Даниил, газета «Деловой Петербург». Вопрос
Деловой Петербург
обоим
newspaper.
участникам
A question for both
пресс-конференции.
participants of the press
Как участникам
conference.
Турнира вам полагается денежный
Participants of
приз?
the tournament,
Скажите, пожалуйста, есть ли идеи, на что вы его можете
will be
потратить,
able to
и нет ли
win
идеи пойти по
the
пути
money
сборной
prize.
Греции, которая отдавала свои
How are
призовые на
you willing
благотворительность?
to, well, dispose of it? But maybe like one of the teams, you will give it all to charity.
I think the question was about money, yes? Prize money? Yes. Look, I have to be honest with you. I coach the team. Woodsy's a player. He's our captain. We're focused on results and playing. We hope whatever money we win comes back into making sure we become a better team. So, yeah, but we don't think about those things.
Question, David from SNTV. Question for both of you guys. There's been murmurings about this possibly being the last Confederation Cup. Just for you guys and the exposure that you'll get from this, a lot more fans around the world will get to know New Zealand footballers and the way you guys play. How important is it that this competition carries on? Or do you feel that it's best to stop now?
Yeah, for us, definitely, it's a big competition. For maybe the bigger nations, it might not be so, but for us, this is a stage to put our name out there, to put our team back on the map and things like that. It's a competition we look forward to every 4 years, and we fight like everything to get here. So we're hoping it continues for many years to come, but that's down to FIFA, so we'll just give it our all in this one, and if it's the last, then that's it.
Добрый день, Иосиф Рокко, газета «Вечерний Санкт-Петербург».
Joseph Rocha,
Вопрос
вечерний
наставнику
Санкт-Петербург
команды.
newspaper.
Читал, что вы
A question
говорили,
to the
будете
coach.
удовлетворены, если выиграете один
that you
из
will be
матчей группового
satisfied
турнира, кто, на ваш
if you
взгляд, станет
win
вашей
one
жертвой.
of the
И
games
вопрос
in the group
футболисту,
tournament,
исполните
and
ли
who is
перед
going to be
началом
your
матча
victim.
традиционный ваш
And a question to
новозеландский
the
танец.
player: will you dance the Hako dance before the game?
The second part was about
I can't hear any Russian coming through. I've got no translation coming through. No translation? No.
Should I do the first part?
Okay, Jochen, maybe an issue?
Yes. So, so the first part was about the win, and the second part was asking you if you would do the hacker. So I'll let you answer that when it comes to you. So the first part. Look, there's no point in us being here if we're just going to come with the mentality we're going to show up and just enjoy this and the occasion. So I can assure you we are not coming here to do that. And the first game for us is Russia. So we're going to go into that game with a game plan of wanting to win that game. And then we go to the next game and we continue with the same mindset. So I assure you there's no point in us even sat here if we're thinking in any other way. And then I'll let Woodsy answer the question about the dance. That's what he said about the dance.
That's a very interesting one. Predominantly that stays in rugby. It probably will stay in rugby for the time being because I think that's where it's predominantly based, so we'll stay with that. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay, just here. And then we will go to the back for the light blue shirted gentleman, and then here.
Hi, Chris. Brian Swanson at Sky Sports News. Just wondering, how would you describe your form last season going into this Confederations Cup, and how likely is it that you will remain at Leeds next season, and your thoughts on the appointment of a new head coach?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great season last season, both for personally and for the team. We put Leeds back on the map, which was a great thing for the club. Done fantastically well as a team, as a unit. It's a great appointment of the new manager. Exciting young manager who'd done very well last season. Looking forward to seeing what he can offer in pre-season, and then we go from there.
Hello, I'm Thiago Diaz from Global Brazil. I would like to talk to Mr. Hudson. And sometimes the British press called you young José Mourinho. How do you react to this, and how Marcelo Bielsa was important to your job?
Yeah, look, that was many years ago, a coach mentioned that, and it's just something that's, the media talk about. It's not something I really focus on, with all due respect. It was a nice compliment at the time from the person who said it, but I don't spend any focus or energy on it. With regard to Bielsa, he's just someone who, for me, when I was growing up as a coach, watching his teams play, I would say the best version of a team of his is the best I've ever seen in football. His teams at their best, I've never seen anything like, and so that was why for me it was a big influence, and for many years I've been really interested in how his teams play and his values as a coach, and I've really enjoyed studying and watching his teams play.
Okay, I think we had a question here in the blue top.
Marie from Swedish TV for Coach. The pitch, no one actually played football on it before because it's a new, grass, and Zenit played on it and refused to play their third game on the previous pitch because they said it was too dangerous to, play football on. So the question is, do you have a plan B if the pitch is really bad tomorrow? Do you have how will you, coach your team, or do you have a plan for that?
Look, I think we just have to see how the game goes, but the conditions are going to be the same for both teams. It's certainly at the end of the game, it's not going to be something we're going to be using as a reason for anything. So, look, I can assure you, our team has played on much worse in our journey to get here. So, we've played in very, very hard pitches, in extreme heat. So we're very, very used to adapting to the conditions. We're good at that.
Can I
go
sure. For one more for Chris? I mean, the season you've had back in Leeds, can you just tell us about it? How do you feel about it looking back and coming here with that season in your, system?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season. I'm very happy with the way it progressed for me. Always thought that I had the ability to show that on the world stage or throughout England. It's one of those things. I'm taking in good form into this competition, like a lot of these lads in our team. So we're gearing up for a good competition and hopefully a prospect of a great one.
Okay, yellow shirt here, and then at the back, and then we'll come to you.
Олег Кошелев, агентство ТАСС, вопрос к главному тренеру.
Ваши
футболисты много общались с прессой перед турниром здесь, в Санкт-Петербурге. Практически все отмечали в составе сборной России Федора Смолова. Как планируете его сдерживать и какую игру ждете от сборной России, в частности, с одним или с двумя нападающими? Потому что было два варианта.
Спасибо. I didn't hear the name of the player that we were talking about. Who was it?
Fedor Smolov.
Oh, Smolov.
Yes. Fedor Smolov.
Okay. I don't know. I can't recall any players talking about Smolov in the media. We know Smolov is a very, very good player, but we also know they have, 3-4 other very good attacking players with different characteristics than Smolov. And for us, we give this team as much respect as we gave, every opposition that we play against. We analyse them thoroughly, we prepare properly, but I have to say we don't come into this game fearing anyone on the Russian team. We know they're strong. We know they've had a good build-up, but we don't come into this game and we have no fear of the opposition.
Okay, at the back, and then we'll come here.
Florian Weichert, German TV. Your goalkeeper, Stefan Marinovic, was played in Germany. How important is Stefan for your team?
Steph's a really good keeper. He's been with us now since South Korea, which was nearly 2.5 years ago, and since then he's had a very good record. He's a big presence, and you know, without heaping a load of pressure on him, you know, he's an important player to us. He probably has a very German mentality, having been there for quite a few years, which is probably good for a goalkeeper. But no, he's good. Presence. We're pleased he's in the team. We're pleased he's fit. You know, he's coming off the back of a successful season. And I'm sure after this tournament, many people will see how good a goalkeeper he really is.
Максим Шичко, Советский спорт. Вопрос Крису Вуду.
Sovietsky Sport newspaper. A question to Chris.
Чемпионшип, возглавил бывший главный тренер сборной России Леонид
The
Слуцкий.
team championship.
Что-то о нем
And
знаете?
Leonid
И считаете ли вы
Slutsky is now the
Слуцкого
head
вашим главным
coach.
конкурентом в
And
следующем
do
сезоне
you
за
know
промоушен?
Slutsky in any way?
Slutsky is managing the championship. Do you know much about him?
Yeah, we've heard little bits about him. He is a good manager at the end of the day, and that's what we see, and that's what he's going to show. So, yeah, we've heard bits about him, but I'm sure he'll show more.
Over here.
Just a quick question again on Winston Reid, who's obviously not here. I'm sure you're confident with the squad that you have, but how big of a blow is that, given the experience that he has of playing in the Premier League?
Yeah, look, of course, he's a really important player for us, and he brings different qualities to this team. However, the makeup of our team over the last 3 years has been scenarios like that, where we haven't always been able to get our best players together, and because of that, we're a team that is incredibly resilient. We don't let those things affect us. We really don't. And on top of that, Woodsy has been an incredible captain for us. I would say majority of the time I've been here. And so I think when the news came out, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago, it was a disappointment at the time, but that's where it left. We left it. You know, and we've been totally focused on the players we've got and the group we've got, and it's not something that we focus on. Cheers, mate.
Константин Беляков, Советский спорт. Вопрос Энтони.
Советский
Есть у вас в
спорт.
составе один игрок, который выступал в чемпионате России. Спрашивали ли у Косты Барбаросса что-то про Россию? И если спрашивали, что он вам рассказывал? Спасибо.
In the Russian Federation, and have you asked him any questions, that player who played for the Russian league?
Yeah, I mean, I've had conversations with him in the past about players in this league. You know, but I have to say we come into this game, you know, we know everything about Russia. You know, we know everything about them before the current coach. We knew how they played before. We knew their players before. You know, we've been following their games, you know, with a lot of detail since then. I think we have a very good understanding of their team, and yeah, we're more than comfortable with how we see Russia.
Hi, Graham Dunbar from Associated Press. It's tempting to see some similarities between New Zealand and Iceland. You know, players scattered around the world, but the sort of, you know, the resources you've got to draw on. But you saw how Iceland approached the tournament last year, gave Portugal a huge problem in the first game and took it from there. Do you see the similarities and how you can take some inspiration from there, or how to approach a tournament where, you know, you probably are a little bit underestimated?
Yeah, definitely. Iceland had a great campaign last year, and tournaments are full of that, full of people stepping up, going to the next level as a nation, as a country, and we're none the same. We want to do that. And we want to show on a world stage that we're meant to be here. And we have more than enough capabilities in this team to put us out there and to do that job.
Are there any further questions for our guests? Okay then. Thank you, Anthony Hudson and Chris Woods. And just to remind you that, of course, Russia have their press conference here at 3:30 and they're training at Smina Stadium, I believe, at 5. Thank you.